It all starts with gleaning. This is all done with gleaned produce that would have gone to waste.
Yeah.
And we like to say that we also bring community together, that's a very important part of what we do.
We connect
volunteers.
community.
We connect community, right?
Abundance to need, neighbor to neighbor. That's all we do.
That was one of our original mottos, I guess you could call it. Farm to Pantry was started on the belief that healthy food both nourishes and nurtures a healthy community. And we realized that there were those among us, our most vulnerable in many cases, who did not have access to healthy food, like most of us fortunately do. But at the same time, we had an abundance of fruits and vegetables that were going to waste. We wanted to connect the two.
The gleaners all work on a volunteer basis. When we start a glean, we all arrive we meet at a meeting spot, and then we arrive at a home or a farm. We gather up our necessary supplies, and we go to the tree that needs to be gleaned, and we harvest it with our hands, and then we box it up into clean boxes according to some rules and regulations that we follow. Label them, we date them, we have certain things we have to put onto the boxes, and then we all separate out the boxes and head out for our deliveries.
I mean, with the Santa Rosa fires that happened about a month ago, this was, as good a time as any to try and connect nutritional, free, delicious foods with people in need. I really like the idea, too, of this gleaning group, how it pulls together a lot of other community groups and takes advantage of sort of the therapeutic nature of getting your hands into food and the goodness that brings you when you give that food to people who appreciate it.
We get a lot of farms that call us that have surplus and are unable to have their employees pick it because, of course, they would incur a cost. So they call us and we glean at no charge.
For the last 2 or 3 years, I've worked so much with Farm to Pantry. They do an amazing job of not just coming out and doing gleaning, which is pulling all of this amazing bounty off of the trees for people who can't have it all themselves or can't eat it all themselves. But they don't just do that, they take it to places of need. They take it to the Boys and Girls Club, they take it to Becoming Independent, they take it to after-school programs. And it's the coolest thing to get a feedback loop, because in one respect, if I turn around and look behind me, I have more oranges than my family or friends could ever eat. And so these people come over, look at them, they're awesome. They pick it, they send me an email that says where it went to, like which Boys and Girls Clubs and others. And it's just this awesome thing about not just not letting something rot, but having it be the best and highest use it could possibly be.
Some of our volunteer gleaners are from an organization called Becoming Independent. They join us twice a week. 3 participants of Becoming Independent, along with their guide, comes to a glean with us, and it's all volunteer. We also partner with the Boys and Girls Club, the after-school programs of Healdsburg, Windsor, and Geyserville by either delivering or doing nutrition education or gleaning field trips.
A lot of the produce that we're picking is phenomenally fresh and delicious and nutritious, and it just seems like the right thing to do. Food that would otherwise be wasted should be used.
There's so many reasons food waste, and we're involved in food recovery, really, is so important. It's important for the environment. It's important that people can have access to healthy produce that would have been plowed under or just gone to waste. So it's such a win-win situation to have people get healthy produce, but also it's important to keep things out of the landfills.
Food that goes into the landfill actually creates methane gas, which is one of the worst greenhouse gases. If the food is actually composted under, of course, it creates compost, which is good for the soil, and there's a little bit of greenhouse gas emissions. But ideally, the best thing is for it to be rescued and to go and to nourish those who don't have access.
Well, I'm a big believer in the ugly food movement because all I care about is what it looks like when I taste it, when it's inside my mouth. And if you think about it, really fruit like this, like pomegranates or even our wine grapes, they operate in a world of what we would call an edge condition. When they're their best is right before they mold. Right? So if you want to just go to supermarkets and just do that stuff, a lot of stuff is preserved so that it can last through. But if you want to get the ripest of the ripe, true maturity, not just sugar ripeness, but true maturity, you got to get out here. And what this group does is they make it convenient. They make it convenient for somebody who has 5 orange trees and 4 pluot trees and a couple other things to get this done. But they also make it convenient so that people who don't always have access to this can have access, whether it's at a homeless shelter or somewhere like that. So they're not just eating bulk food. They're eating something that's truly Sonoma County's bounty. As Luther Burbank said, this is the place. This is the place to grow, to do all this, and we live in a community of abundance, but sometimes we get wasteful and complacent. And then all of a sudden you look out and you feel bad because, God, look at all this stuff going to waste. So these fires have been crazy. They've taken a lot of people's focus away from simple everyday activities. For me personally, it's enriching to be doing something like this right now.
Farm to Pantry harvests 56,000 pounds a year. It's grown every year, and one tree with what people think is, I've got nothing on my tree, is really impactful for the community. With 200 pounds of something coming off of one tree.